What is up everyone, and we are back with another guide about Newworld. Today we're going to be talking about how to efficiently and effectively fast travel and use fast movement. We are going to be covering the house placements, in selection, Azoth farm for fast travel, dying, the fastest run speed method, and abusing the camp system. So let's get right into it. We're going to be first going into the order of the easiest to the hardest. First is running fast. This is essential at all times and is extremely easy to do. This requires you to be in lightweight armor or using all light armor. This enables you to dodge roll, which covers a lot of distance. Then if you have a musket with 3 points into trapper, unlock hustle. This boosts your movement speed by 10% every single time you dodge with no cooldown, and now you have everything you need. To do this, dodge roll with your musket and then press X at the same time. This activates your hustle's 10% movement speed buff, then wait for your stamina to get above 50 so you can dodge again and then press X and repeat. The reason you press X after a dodge roll because there's a slow if you do not. If you do press X, it cancels out that slow animation, allowing you to keep your speed up without slowing down. We also wait for your stamina to reach above 50 because it takes 4 seconds to fill your stamina from 0 to 100. However, hustle skill only lasts 3 seconds. That means you're going to be slow for 1 second. If you wait for your stamina to recover above 50, you will never reach 0 stamina, so you don't have to wait for your stamina to get to max before you can use a dodge roll again, as well as your hustle will be active all the time. This is useful from running anywhere and especially from gathering and dodging PvP players. Next up is in placements. You can only have one in placement and it has a fast travel cooldown of 60 minutes. You can also fast travel here anywhere in the world by pressing the menu button or go to the game menu, and under there is a button that says recall to in. This can be used anywhere in the world and can always be changed. Your in selection should be in the place that you travel to the most, because there are no fees to fast travel with an inn, unlike a house that has an initial buy fee as well as property taxes. Inns are free, but you only get one, and if you try to get another, that one gets replaced by your previous one. To get an inn, go to the town of your choice and then open the map. You can see the inn's location by the moon icon. Go there and check in. This makes it your inn and you can teleport to it every hour from anywhere in the world. So I picked Everfall because it's a trading hub and the most populated trading hub in my server. I always teleport here when I need to do some trading, so it is the best time for me. Next up is regular fast travel. This is just through the shrines, but it requires Azoth to do so. According to my market analysis, Azoth is roughly valued at around 8 coins each. So if you were to travel somewhere using fast travel and it takes 100 Azoth to do so, that to me is a 800 coin cost to fast travel. Now, would you pay 800 coin every time you fast travel? For me, I wouldn't. Even if it's only 50 Azoth, to me that is 400 coin. In most cases for me, I only use fast travel when I absolutely need to or I'm tired of running with dodge rolling a musket. But if your Azoth is capped out or near 800 plus, I would use it when I can. Keep in mind you do get discounts for fast traveling to an area your faction owns, so always take advantage of that. So how do you farm Azoth? You can through killing mobs, as they sometimes drop 10 Azoth. From quests as well, but those are limited over time. And the easiest method is farming them with tools. The best tool to farm it, in my opinion, is Login Axe with Azoth extraction. Have a X% chance to get 1 Azoth every node. This means that those small young trees that take 1 to 2 hits are the best because you can just spam them as fast as possible, and each one of those trees has a chance to drop Azoth. In my case, it is around a 37% chance. Another tool to consider is the skinning tool with Azoth extraction, but it requires you to kill the enemy and then skin it, unlike the Login Axe where all you have to do is chop a tree down. I wouldn't get Azoth extraction on a pickaxe or harvesting tool because there are better perks to choose from, and the gathering nodes aren't readily available. Getting Azoth extraction on your Login Axe and skinning knife will dramatically help you keep your Azoth up so you can fast travel more or make more coin by adding Azoth onto your crafts in order to add perks. This brings me to the next section, that is the house selection and location. You can have up to 3 houses, and I would highly suggest you plan accordingly. Your first house is the most important decision because you get a 50% discount on the price of the house and that initial taxes. So I would recommend getting the highest tier house that you need. Then brings up the question, what tier house do I need and what are the differences? Here are the specifics of the housing. There's the cost of the house, the weekly tax, fast travel cooldown time, max storage furniture, max pets, max lights, and the standing required in that zone. The first big hurdle is standing required. This takes a long time unless you do town projects all the time. You're gonna be struggling to get up to level 10 in order to unlock that tier 1 house. This is gonna be the biggest barrier to entry. And by the way, town projects are one of the fastest ways to level up, so always try to do them when you can. The next thing to consider in your house selection is how often are you gonna use fast travel. For me, most of the time when I'm in an area, I just kill my character by either getting killed by a mob or drowning myself because that saves time on fast travel and Azoth, and is better than wasting a fast travel cooldown for my house or an inn selection. So you won't be using your fast travel on your house unless you are in another zone. Then you can always fast travel from one zone to another, but that comes at the cost of Azoth, and the further you are and more that you weigh, the more expensive it is, and I value Azoth at 8 coin each. So that is just another thing to consider. And then since I taught you the easiest way to run as fast as possible with a musket dodge roll, you can easily make it from one zone to the next within 5 minutes depending on the situation. Or you can just use your musket dodge roll to the edge of your next zone and then kill your character by dying from a mob or drowning yourself. The only downside in dying is that you lose durability. You do not lose any materials or coin. So to save time and resources, it is best to kill your character to fast travel in the same exact zone. Another trick is to put a campfire at the edge of a zone you are traveling to if you are traveling to it very often. You can spawn at a campfire 500 meters away from where you died. So if you are traveling from Everfall to Brightwood often, you can kill your character a third of the way there and then spawn at your campfire that's at the edge of Brightwood. Then die again to spawn exactly at Brightwood. All of these methods help you greatly reduce the amount of times you're gonna actually use fast travel. So some people don't even need a tier 4 house for that 2-hour cooldown. And in most cases, a tier 2 house or tier 3 house is a sweet spot. Another thing to consider for housing is the weekly taxes. And these taxes can go up when the town's faction owner decides to raise them, so always remember that. Then if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to lose certain aspects of your house. I'm not sure what those are, so if you do know, please let us know in the comments down below. That is why it is critical to know if you can afford this on a weekly basis. But the tax cost is quite low compared to the Azoth required to fast travel. A 100 Azoth fast travel cost is equal to 800 coin for my calculations. So just using your house twice in 1 week will recoup the cost of taxes for a tier 4 house, so always keep that in mind. The last thing to consider is the max storage slots. A single storage chest can boost your storage an additional 525 weight. That is insane and something to really consider when picking your next territory standing cards. That is why I do not pick storage unlike most people. Are you going to use additional 4 storage chests? Do you need that 2000 plus extra storage? And if you do, a tier 4 house is your best pick. But for most people, 2 or 3 storage chests on a tier 2 house or tier 3 house is a good choice. If you want to plan for the future, a tier 4 house can be a good choice, and that is what I'm picking for my first house due to the discounts, and it's the same price as a tier 2 house. But for your second and third choice, a tier 4 house might not be worth it in my opinion. If you do need all the storage and want the best of the best, then I would go with a tier 3 house, but that is really pushing it. For nearly 90% of the population, a tier 2 house is the middle selection as it provides a 3-hour fast cooldown time, 2 storage chests, and a low price tags, as well as low taxes. It only requires level 15 standing in that town. Then when you finally decide on the house that you want and tier you want, you need to consider the location. Your first house should be the zone that you travel to the most and the zone that you think you're going to be using the most in the future. Then your second and third house, in my opinion, should either be both in high tier zones or one in a mid tier zone such as Brightwood, and the last one in a high tier zone that you're going to be using and spending the most time in the future when you get higher leveled. And that's it for this video. I know this is a lot of information, so check out those timestamps in the video to skip through and rewatch the video. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos, as it helps the channel grow and helps me donate more to disabled veterans. Thank you all for tuning in and listening, and until next time.